What's poppin', YouTubers? Eastern Europe's finest, hosted by Mike. What's going on? First off, let me say again, season greetings and salutations, and happy New Year to you peoples out there. First off, for all the trolls and haters, you may think that this is actually uneven. It's not. It's just that the house was built 1910 and or established. It could have been built 19. It could have been finished 1917 or who knows. Back then they didn't have machines and all these different lasers that help you proportion the house right and all that shit. So I don't know how it was built. Don't give a fuck. I wasn't born. All I know is that houses after a while they settle. They keep settling until they get to where they're gonna stay, and that's it. So that's the reason why that's the way it is. I always like pointing out shit that's the obvious. So that way haters don't come up here and try to hate, and then you get trolls that want to, troll behind the haters. Because some people are very, a lot of people don't understand and or like black people or understand why a lot of us do collect. Because it's out of the norm for you to have the mass majority of a lot of minorities, especially blacks, that collect toys. Or you get more comics or coins and stuff than toys, especially people in my age. It's very, even for us, it's like, it's not unheard of, but it's kind of weird considering. Because most of the people, in my, like, they go out play basketball, get involved in the street life, thug life, all types of shit. So it's a whole different thing for a lot of people of my color coming from areas I come from to somehow still grow up and be into this kind of stuff instead of other shit. So that's why I say that. And it's not because it's just what I think. It's because it is what the fuck it is. I mean, I lived the life, so I fucking understand and I know because, I think I have experience as a black man to understand how that goes, especially growing up in the neighborhoods where I come from. I think I have that right to understand what I'm saying and say what I'm understanding. So, with that basically being said, anyhow, so getting that out the way. Got a lot of things to talk about. Obviously, you see behind me. I am taking my sweet time. You may be able to see this on the bottom. Let me adjust this. No, I should know it's gonna be problems. Okay, there you go. So you see down here now, and I have all these figures right here on the floor are a whole bunch of loose figures that may have weapons and or may not. Excuse me. So I'm definitely gonna be putting all these figures most likely on this shelf here. And of course, where the Star Wars stuff was, is gonna be like a lot of the vehicles and whatnot. That's my plan. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the 25th anniversary stuff yet. I may just go ahead and sell all that stuff off. I would like to keep, or maybe I'll just keep some of the ones. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I have the room, but I don't want to get rid of other stuff here just to accommodate that. I mean, of course, some people, including fam Eric, is like, yo, man, just fuck that. Just do all strictly G.I. Joe and Transformers. But the thing is, this Japanese robot type shit, this is where Power Rangers, Voltron, Transformers, almost everybody got their start from this stuff. And I actually love this stuff. And as far as the mask stuff goes, no. Now, there's an asshole by the name of Sasquatch Comics or whatever the fuck he is. So, on the 20th, I paid money and I ordered these two mask figures and I think something else. We made a deal. And I purposely think this person probably sent something shitty. I don't think he really had the intentions to send me my stuff. Because one thing about Whatnot that I don't like, well, there's a lot of things, but the one main thing I keep bringing up over and over again is the fact that when you buy shit from people, they turn around and they kiss your ass and they love you when they get that money, But it's ironic how when you don't get an item or item gets stolen or whatever, they want to sit there and point blame on anything but them. And my thing is, it's just like eBay. If you package something fucked up, or if you don't package it right and it gets broken, lost, or stolen in transit, you are at a lot of fault. I mean, you know, you're even more so at fault than a package arriving broken, unless it's the way you pack it. You know, I've had stuff come that I'm like, yo, how the fuck how this idiot get it here? And I'm actually surprised that it didn't break. So I automatically stop buying from them people. I'm a very funny person. If I don't like you, I won't sell or buy from you. That's very known, and even in flea markets, there's certain people that I don't like, and they don't like me, so I just don't even buy from them, and I refuse to sell them anything, and they know that, so they know better. You know what I mean? Like, I have my issues with. I don't like hypocrites and fake fucking full of shit people. Like, there's one guy who's part owner of Pandora's Box. You know, me and him used to have our little. I mean, we just don't like each other. It is what the fuck it is. I think he's a snake and a pussy piece of shit. So I go up there one day, and who's there? Him. I'm like, oh boy. But I was like, fuck it. His partner I thought was cool. Hey man, do me a favor. Can I get some water, please?
My phone's gone.
What do you mean gone?
It's not turning on.
You probably need a battery. I mean, I don't know.
It's been 3 years since I had that phone. It was on its last.
Y'all see how big this nigga getting now? Y'all see Isaiah now? Look at this little nigga, man. Look how tall this motherfucker got. He not only got tall, he's like a grown ass man. He gets his hair braided now, and he just woke up Spike. Go ahead, Spike, lay down, man. It's okay. This is Spike's favorite spot. Right, Spike? He's like, what the fuck happened? Who? Yo, it's my dog. I love that fucking dog, man. You probably see his feet, right? You see his paws right here. Man, he's knocked out. Let me see if I can show you this fucking mutt. Yeah, he's right down there. There you go. Right here. Yeah. So, you know, there was a couple of issues, and it's like I've been up here since August 4th. So probably about the same week or so that I was in the hospital the last time for my leg is when I started going ham. And thanks to Fam Eric and Fam Alex, they're the reasons why all these people made money off of me, off of whatnot. Because if it wasn't for the two of them, not only would I not have a lot of shit that I have, I also wouldn't, a lot of people wouldn't have the money they have. Because, you know, if I want something, I'm going to get it. And if I'm not going to get it, I'm going to make you pay for it. Not because I'm doing it intentionally. There is a certain threshold I will not go beyond unless I really, really got to have it. And if it's something that I really got to have and I want to get it out the way, you only brought me one cup and I gave you two. Purposely, intentionally, I gave you two. You little bastard.
I thought you wanted me to put one of them.
No, it would make sense why I gave you two. If that was the case, I'd have kept the other one up here.
So you're going to make me go right now?
Yeah.
Okay. That hurt.
That did not hurt. Now get your ass down and
It
get
caught
more
onto
cup.
my hair, Dad, and it pulled it.
Anyway, so I'm just I'm all over, you know, like I just don't like that shit. And like I said, I've been up on what's it called for the longest. So not the longest, I'm sorry. Since August, and I already put close to I already spent over 14 going on 15,000 now. Just a little under a month ago, I was telling you guys how I got almost 11,000 or 11,000 into it. Now, I've spent over 3,000 in the last 2.5 or so weeks just on that. I paid fucking $2,000 for this. It's still sitting here because I haven't plugged it up yet. And this I got from somebody on Thursday in Columbus, a guy I know from Meadowlands. This is a Bose Companion 3 for the computer. Hopefully it works. I still haven't tested it yet. I'm still thinking about taking this back. This will be my second time. I do have buyer's remorse on a lot of shit I buy, but then when I use it, I'm alright with it. The only thing that draws me off of this is the fact that it's a 24-inch screen, not a 27. One thing about Apple products, to me, I think Apple products is shit. Now, you're probably like, what? How you going to say that? You just paid $2,000 for a fucking iMac. Let me finish. Like, for instance, why go out there and get a fucking iPhone when an iPhone, I don't give a fuck if they have the iPhone 52. iPhones base all that shit. Everything in a fucking iPhone, inside and outside of the iPhone, is made from Samsung. So iPhone's product is about fucking 2 to 3 years behind Samsung. You guys may or may not agree with it. It doesn't matter. Statistics fucking show that. I mean, Apple did win the lawsuit with Samsung about 8 or so years ago, and Samsung's still under contract to do certain things with and all for Apple. And I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, we lost the, like they lost the fucking battle, but they're not gonna lose the war because at the end of the day, they still charge Apple to make to make Apple products. So in reality, all that money they gave Apple, they're gonna wind up getting that shit back in 3 or 4 or 5 fucking fold anyway, because they'll just keep charging more and more for the product to make their money back. So either way, yeah, we lost the battle, but we're not gonna lose the war. And evidently, that's fucking relatively smart thinking, and it's just the way it is. It's hidden fact. It's not, speculation. It's statistically proven. Anyhow, will I go back into getting another iPhone? Greater chances, no. I mean, I was thinking about getting another iPhone. Now that might sound hypocritical to y'all. Like, then you just say this and that. I was thinking about it for one reason, to try to find a lot of my old pictures and stuff that I still have somewhere in iCloud. That's the only reason. Other than that, I'm fine with my Samsung. This is like the newest one they made. Do I like Mac OS? Of course I do. I'm good on both computers. I'm good with DOS and I'm good with Linux and shit too. My PC now is giving me a little problem. It's overheating a lot, and I had issues where it shut off on me 7 times in the last 3 weeks. I've even heard beeping, and I had to go and buy memory online to replace the memory I have now. And it's like, it didn't cost me much, but I did get a real nice usage out of this PC. But it's like, we got PS5s in the house nobody uses. I think my son Mike uses his, Mike Jr. Michelle uses one of them. And Isaiah don't use none because he's always on the phone with his friends or playing some shit on the computer, which me and my wife, for his birthday or something like that, we got him. I forgot why we brought it, but we brought him a fucking gaming laptop, which I got from. It's the one that he actually wanted, which somebody at the last show I sold at was selling one, ironically. So we got that one from him, and it was like, I think just under a month. I mean, it still came with warranty and everything, box, everything. So the damn thing didn't even have a fingerprint on it. That's how banging it was with the box, the whole nine, and we wound up getting it for like, I think around $250 under what it was going for, and he really wanted it. So what are you gonna do? So I'm like stuck between a rock and a hard place. Now going to this computer, I said after this PC, I'm either gonna go into a higher gaming PC, but I brought this to play games and shit here. But my G.I. Joe room, I have a beautiful fucking 40-something inch TV in there with a Xbox 360 with emulators in it, and I can still play games on that 360. So it's like, what's the point of me using or having or needing a video game system in here too, when I have that room for me sitting down watching my movies and playing the games in there, and just using my office for regular office activity. That was my plan, but it never happened because I'm always in here anyway. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I think I'm gonna go back to all-in-one. Now the last time I brought and checked out all-in-ones, they were like around minimum $350 up to like $700-800, and that was like top of the line shit with Blu-ray players. Well, not Blu-ray, but with DVD players, the whole nine. So a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, oh shit. So I'm looking around and I'm like, yo, why no? Almost no computers come with optical drives no more, unless it's a gaming PC or a gaming laptop, and only very few of those come with it. Because in reality, who the fuck's want to sit there and pay an arm and a leg for a 2, 3, or 4 terabyte gaming laptop, which is fucking absurd. It's like almost 8 to 9 times more expensive than a fucking 3 or 4 terabyte external drive, which is fucking insane. Because like, you know, a lot of video gaming now or gaming online, it's all fucking, you know, everything is DLC, downloadable content. And it's like it'll take you like fucking 8-9 hours to download a fucking full game. It doesn't make any sense. You know, I like the optical version where you put the CD in and, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? So, but whatever. And I'm looking at all these all-in-ones. Dell's got, it's kind of crappy. HP kind of crappy. Excuse me. So they're all kind of crappy. And they want like 7. And their low end, like the shitty mediocre version is like 750. Their base level is around fucking $800 fucking dollars for a 27-inch that looks like shit. It's like somebody was playing around with flour and the whole flour bag busted, and they just dusted the whole area off, and they just left all the dusted flour residue on the screen. Like, it's really, really matte and kind of like dusty looking. And these are brand new all-in-ones. I'm looking at them, and then if you want a low end to mid range version of one of them that has a touch screen, they come with shitty ass hard drives. Don't get me wrong, this comes with a shitty hard drive too. I'm gonna get to that too. And you're like, what? So I'm confused for days. So I'm going to a lot of places. Went to Micro Center. They were very helpful, but they didn't have much of what I thought. Went to Best Buy. They seem to have a lot more better shit than Target, and even Walmart's I went to. So I got a bet. You know, I was better oriented. So on last Sunday, I'm like, okay. So Monday came, and then Tuesday came, and I started getting more on the ball. So me and Isaiah went to American Mall, because the American Dream Mall. There's a Best Buy in there, and that Best Buy has a lot more so-called inventory than a lot of the other Best Buys. It makes sense, being that, you know, I guess that Best Buy is considered a premium store because they're at the American Dream Mall. You got to pay for parking, and this fucking thing is like it's a fucking huge facility. I mean, it's so huge they got parking lot area A all the way through I think C, and you got to go around this whole. It's like a 8-9 fucking block radius to get to certain parking. It's fucking nuts. It's nuts. You could probably park about probably 15 or more thousand cars, and I'm not exaggerating. That's how big the American Dream Mall is. It's so huge that it's a fucking tourist attraction. Yeah, they got a water park, some sky shit. I mean, ski slopes. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, that place, if you don't remember where you park, you're fucked, because you can get lost very, very quickly there. You can get lost very fast if you don't pay attention to where you are. Hell, you get lost going in and out the motherfucker, just driving. So imagine you walking around or trying to find your car. It's crazy. So anyway, so we go in there. The white kid was helpful. He was helpful. But then when we walk around, even Isaiah noticed that he said something to somebody else, because I was like, listen, all I need is a PC for Whatnot, YouTube, and I want to be able to watch. I want to be able to sit back and watch my DVDs or my Blu-rays. And I do have a Blu-ray player in the other room, but sometimes, yeah, I get it. You might be like, yo, that's kind of stupid. You're like not even fucking 15 feet away from the other area. True, but sometimes I don't want to go through any of that shit. You know what I mean? And yeah. So I noticed that iMac stopped doing a 27-inch. Now, I was going to go buy a used one, which I could still go and do all that because I still have the warranty and everything for this. I did get the 3-year Apple Care. Whenever I buy a computer, I learned a long time ago, whatever store you're in, make sure that store that you're in give you a really banging ass warranty, because some places they'll give you a warranty, but the warranty is shit. Like they'll say, oh yeah, you got to make sure that they tell you and you find out that, you know, that your computer can be replaced. Because what they'll do is they'll try to fix it like 8-9 fucking times, put some shitty shit in it and give it back to you instead of giving you a new one. Because technically, if you're under warranty, they have to give you the next model. They can't just try to find or locate or refurbish. You gotta read in between the lines very well with warranties, because warranties can be they can be just as tricky and fucked up as life, health, and auto and home insurance. The whole point is for them to get is for them to get it's for them to profit off of, not you. And if they gotta ditch out, what I mean, it gotta work to their favor, not to yours. That's just the whole fucking point of it. And so when I went on Tuesday, we brought it. I brought that. I brought this, and I brought I brought the I brought I think I brought a 2 terabyte. But then I was looking online on what people were saying about the iMac, which I should have done that beforehand, but it didn't matter, because as long as I don't open it up and I still have days, I can return to get my money back. So that's basically why I still haven't opened this yet. That plus I need to open it up, put it up here, and then fuck around with this with my computer, so I can put everything that's on here on there. Everything exactly where and how it is as well. So I'm like, okay. So, but I found out that the one that the kid was selling me was an 8-core M4, because last year was the M3. And then I'm like, well, it's 2005. So I'm pretty sure they're going to do an M5 chip for these. Then there's rumors that there might be a 30-inch iMac coming out. So I was like, maybe I'll just take this motherfucker back, continue using this till the wheels fall off, and then wait for that 30-inch. And that would just, it'll save everything. Because now this being a 24-inch, I got to either get a 27-inch or a 32-inch monitor or something like that to go next to it, so I can have a bigger screen, like basically what I have here. Have my iMac right here, and then like off the side have the other display, so I can have 2 displays simultaneously. That's basically my plan, because I like bigger the better to me. I don't want I got right now I got a Magnavox TV that I'm looking at through you guys. It's right here, what I mean, and that's like, I think this is like a 32 or 37 inch or some shit like that. And then off to the side, I think this is a 27. I think this is a 27-inch Dell monitor. You know what I mean? And they both serve perfect purposes. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for me to upgrade and move on, and that's why I got that. And that's why I got that color, because that is a new green, like a mint green, and I love that color. I mean, the blue one was nice too, but this one to me stood out more. I just like the green a lot better. Of course, the back of it is way more greener than the front. The front is like a mint, and I think that will pop really nice here, and I'll have more space, more wall space and shit too. So, and on top of that, the camera is built into it. It's integrated into the machine instead of me using this one. So one of my kids might want this computer, and I'll just probably give him the whole setup, because it's still usable. And since I did upgrade a lot of the shit, it's not acting funny like it used to. But I already made my mind up that I don't need nothing. I don't need a gaming PC here or nothing like that, because I don't use it. All I basically do is stream. I'm only gonna be looking at my storage auction stuff, videos, whatnot. Every once in a while, I'll pop in a movie and watch it. That's it. You know what I mean? So I don't need nothing crazy, but I was thinking about getting a curved TV to go along with this, but I don't want to take away from the beautiful color of this and getting something black. I'm thinking about getting something white or silver to kind of like go along with it. I don't know yet, but that's basically where I'm at. So anyway, like I said, so I returned it. They just transferred my 3-year Apple Care, because technically it doesn't start. I don't think it starts until I plug the computer up. But the one that I had was an 8-core with, I think, 256 gigabyte hard drive or some shit like that, and it only came with 2 Thunderbolt ports. So when I was looking on YouTube, I'm finding out a lot of different shit, and I'm like, oh, okay. So there's for the extra $200, there's a 2 or 3. You basically get the 10-core, the bigger hard drive in it. You get, I think, 16 gigs of RAM versus 8. There's a lot of different shit. And on top of that, I get 4 Thunderbolt ports instead of 2. So it's a lot. It's a for the extra $300 or $400, you're getting so much more for something that's not really upgradable. You know what I mean? You could probably go in there and upgrade the memory, but you probably got to take it to Apple because I think if you open it yourself, you probably void your warranty, and that kind of defeats the purpose of me paying fucking 300 and change for a 3-year warranty that I would want. Now I know I've never had an all-in-one computer that went dead on me. I think after I gave one or two to my kids, after a while, they died on them. But that was after I probably used them for so long, and then who knows what the fuck they did to them to mess them up. But I've never had an issue with an all-in-one. I've always loved all-in-one computers, to be honest with you, because it's just everything is one spot, boom, 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 and I like it. And I've always loved the HP because I've always searched for the HP all-in-ones, but over the years I think they got dumbfounded. Now they got all these new i7s and i this and i that and all that shit, but everybody's telling me they're kind of crappy. They don't have real good fans in it, and it makes sense because if the whole housing for it now is plastic, everything is fucking plastic, and like eight or so years ago when they did the all-in-ones, most all-in-ones had aluminum bezels or had aluminum parts in it, and they had a little room and they were a little thick, because it gave, and they had a lot of vents to, to let a lot of air and stuff flow through it. But when you have plastic and plastic heats up, that's not a good thing. So that does make sense on why on Apple, why they still use aluminum and shit, because aluminum absorbs heat a lot better than any other metals. It doesn't. You have to have real intensified lava or real medium to high potent blowtorch temperatures to melt down aluminum. And aluminum will get hot, but it won't get like in your face, scalding, burn you hot, unless it's really, really intense. You know what I'm saying? So I took all that in factor. I factored all that in. I know a lot of people don't like Apple. I don't like a lot of Apple products, but I always liked Apple computers. I think Apple computers is dope. I mean, I love Samsung's I love Samsung's tablets and Samsung's phones. But if Samsung was to ever to do a computer, would I support it? Hell yeah, because my whole house I use Samsung products. Only thing I don't think Samsung make good. Only thing I would stay away from Samsung: refrigerators, stoves, washers, and dryers. I know those products, they make a shit. It's like that's like equivalent to how I feel about Apple's cell phones and tablets. I mean, don't get me wrong. Their tablets are really good because they're basically almost like a mix between functionality of a phone / PC, and they do seem to have a lot more easier functions to function than a regular Android tablet. But when it comes to phones, I'm sorry, Samsung Android is just the fucking best to me. But my opinion has nothing to do with the fact that everything that's inside of an iPhone is made by Samsung. All they did was get a factory of Asians to sit there and put an Apple logo on their hardware and to create the software for the hardware to say Apple on it. That's the only fucking difference. Oh, and of course, I said it's software, so that's it. That has nothing to do with how I feel about it. That's just that's just fact. You know what I mean? So I think I have until, what's today? Today's what? It's going to be Monday. So I basically have until Tuesday to take this back if I decide to do so. But there's a greater chance I'm not. One, I got that Bose Companion 3 specifically to go along with this. Because they had some stuff in Apple, but I wasn't impressed. Now, I know Bose is great. I heard Sonos is also good. And yesterday, was it yesterday or yesterday? Me, Isaiah, and Michelle, we went to the American Dream Wall. She wanted to get some Chinese thing, but they sold out. And I went back to Apple because they called me as I was in the middle of making a deal with the dude for that Tiger Hydrofall. And I told him, I said, yo, if the people called me for like 2 minutes before I handed you the money for this, I wouldn't have brought that. Even though I finally wore him out to get it, I wouldn't have. Because I don't like spending my personal money. I like spending recycled money for shit. And the fact that I had to, use my personal money out the bank to buy what they called me for. So they called me because when I changed the other iMac for this one, okay, again, you get 2 extra cores. And on top of that, I think the memory is the same. But you get 2 extra cores. And I get 4 Thunderbolt ports versus 2. No brainer. And then I was like, wait a minute. Well, I do know that, they make the colored wires, the track mouse, and I think another keyboard or something that goes along with the color of your iMac. And the lady's like, yeah, but it's through Apple, but I think there's a way we can do it to where we can order it for you. And I said, yeah, do that. So when I changed them and paid more for this one, she did that for me. And it took them 25 minutes, but they were able to do it. And then she was telling me, oh, and it's also cool because it comes with the wire that you hook up the trackball to the PC. I said, yeah, I know. I've seen it on YouTube. That's why I'm talking to you about it. She said, yeah. So we would talk about that. And I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, it's silly, but it's dope that they give you a cord that actually matches the computer. That's fucking awesome. So they called me yesterday and they said, yeah, when I speak to so-and-so, and I'm like, yeah, this is he, well, this is Apple, blah, blah, your product came in. I said, all right, perfect. And she said, so can we make an appointment for you to come pick it up? I said, I have to make an appointment to come pick it up? She said, yep. And please come with a valid driver's license or ID. I said, no problem. So after the show, came home, sat down, relaxed for a minute, waited for Isaiah and Michelle to get ready. Then we drove out there and, it was all right. I wound up buying a sound bar for a much needed sound bar for my TV that I purchased that's downstairs in the living room that I had to replace the TV. I mean, I haven't had to buy electronics for years since I buy storage units. And I'm talking about like high-end, top-of-the-line TVs. But that was a nice big TV that was a dope-ass smart TV, but it wound up being it wasn't an Insignia. It was one of those off-brands. But it was pretty fucking dope while it lasted. But after a while, it started to go. And when it was so nice that I was gonna get it fixed. And a couple of TV guys that I did fine was like, yo, you just better get a new one because the price I'm gonna have to charge you to get this is not even worth it. And I was like, and they both said the same thing. They could have took my money, but they both said the same thing. And then they said they're on top of that. No offense, but this isn't like a top of the line brand, even more so. And I was like, all right. So I went out and brought one, and like about I think a month later I brought one because at that time nobody was really home or whatever. So I was like, fuck it, I did it. But I always notice the TV is low, even on high, it's low. And then I realized same thing with these fucking all these PCs. They dumb down TVs. Like I remember like 4 or 5 years ago, TVs gave you great speakers. Now they make them so thin that the speaker is like a really small speck of bullshit. And they basically do the same thing companies do when they hire hackers and shit to go into to create viruses. Because let's face it, corporations and companies hire people to create viruses. Y'all might say that's absurd. That's crazy. They hire fucking thieves to go and steal your information because they all sell information to people. This is how they make their money. You think these companies will sit there and put millions of dollars in people's pockets and just give them careers and just have a whole bunch of software CDs and shit sitting on shelves? Nobody's buying it. They'll go under. So they have to hire people on the black web and people to go out there and steal your shit and do this and that. For the same reason why the government has to allow drug dealers and drug cartels to bring shit in, because they wouldn't have no ATF. There would not be no fucking alcohol, tobacco, and firearms There would not be no DA. I mean, no DEA, no drug enforcement agencies. If everything was copacetic and these people weren't running around with mules and doing this and that, these agencies wouldn't exist, and people that put their kids through college, have homes, and have a fucking career wouldn't have one. And they wouldn't build a lot of these jails in the middle of nowhere America where they have people that have the fucking a fucking 7th to 9th grade reading level or education, who are farmers and don't have no jobs, or they just basically white trailer trash sitting up somewhere. If they don't have all this shit, everything's a fucking revolving door. They wouldn't have civilians working in their jails, and they wouldn't deputize these people to become correction officers and shit if they didn't have nowhere to put prisoners that they need to keep. So everything's a fucking revolving door. Everything. You know what I'm saying? So when you get my age, you start to realize that everything in life is just as recycled as you drinking toilet water, or drinking water that somebody done urinated and defecated in, or even the same, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. All this shit is recycled. This water, believe me, this water that's in this cup right now, everybody done had diarrhea, everybody done vomited, everybody done flushed all types of shit in this. You know, you have dead bodies floating in this, you have oil, you have machines, you have boats, all types of vessels that done contaminated this, and because of certain things humans can do, they can purify the water so you can re-drink it again. Everything in this fucking earth is recyclable. And it's the same thing for these fucking PCs here and everything I've been talking about for the last God knows what. Outside of the bullshit with whatnot. Even that's recyclable, I guess. So, going back to this, you know, I'm like, you know what? Say fuck it. And, you know, this PC, unlike the previous models, they actually gave you a phone. They finally gave you a phone jack. A headphone jack on the side of it so you can hook up. And, you know, this actually has a phone jack port so I can listen to dope music, or I can have a decent system. And, you know, can't get better than Bose. I mean, you can, but you got a lot of good systems out there. I mean, a lot of good companies that make real nice speakers and audio component. But very few are top notch. You got Macintosh, you got Clips, you got Bose. I mean, you have a lot of different other companies. But you know, Bose, when you think of like something real small and portable, but really, really loud and bang for your buck, you think Bose. And I'm not just saying that because he had it. I'm saying it because he had it and I got it, and he wanted. You know, I mean, he even used they go for like almost $200. So I got it for a good deal. Hopefully they work. This computer, the more I think about it, the more and more I might just say fuck it and just keep it and just get me a display. Sooner or later, I'll probably get a display and put it up here. I need more room on this desk anyway, and this is a fucking huge work desk. And I got toys and shit all over the place. I mean, I got shit. I can't even enjoy a meal up here because I got so many G.I. Joe figures and other shit up here all the time. And even when I clean it up, it just always goes back. So, it's just crazy. Now, outside of this, let me show you guys other stuff other than that. So, the day I brought the other one, I got this. So, this was $120. It's a G Drive Armor ATD, whatever the fuck that means. It's a 2 terabyte. And I guess it's from ScanDisc Professional, which is the same people that make the mini disc. So sooner or later I'm gonna buy that little multimedia box. I think I'm gonna get the 10-in-1, so that way I can still use all types of different cards and shit. I didn't open this yet. I mean, it doesn't matter because even if I got another, I mean, if I went with a PC all-in-one, I still wanted to get this anyway, so I can have, because like the only difference between those is you get 3 more inches. You get a 27-inch screen, but the screens look like shit, especially compared to the glass and the technology you get in this from Dell and HP. And you know, yeah, you're getting 3 more inches of view versus 24, but you're getting a full plastic enclosement, and over time it's going to overheat shouldn't be that good. And the displays are kind of crap. Yeah, you got the touch screen, but the displays are kind of crap. And some of those they had i7s, like I think what 13th gen, was still the processor's still not as fast as the M4, which. And I mean, for what I'm gonna use it for, it doesn't fucking matter. But whatever. And on top of that, the warranties weren't that great. With Apple, if they can't fix it or whatever, they'll give me a whole new computer with 3 years, and as many times it has to happen, I have a 3-year warranty on everything, so that covers every fucking thing on my machine. With Dell and HP, it's statistic circumstances. And again, you're getting a full plastic embezzlement. That's a PC. It's not a TV. So it's just so much. And yeah, in some of the models, yeah, you do get a 1 terabyte built inside. But again, I do like PC, and I can deal with Apple too. But fuck it, I'm going with the iMac. I'm going with this one. I still have a couple days to decide if I want to keep it or not, but I think I don't know. But yeah, so speaking of that, I did get this. And then, of course, what we had to go pick up yesterday was this. So as they finally brought it out to me after fucking 30 minutes, I was just looking at the box, and she was like about to write me up because like they were gonna charge me an extra $100, and I'm like, well, sweetie, I think you're doing something wrong. She said, how come? I said, because when they ordered it, I forgot what she said happened, but that's always typical like that. But it's gonna be $100 difference. It's gonna be $100 off. So it's not gonna be $228. It should be $128. So she said, hold on, let me go speak to my manager. She comes back and she's like, yeah, okay, so it's $128. Cause she looked at me like, the fuck am I talking about? I'm only saying what the lady told me. Then on top of that, something just said, yo, you know what, Mike? Have them open it to make sure they give you the right color one. So as I open it, ironically, they don't keep none of this shit. They don't keep none of this stuff in stock, right? So I brought this knowing that this track mouse, because I don't like the Apple mouse. So this track mouse is the color of the front of this, that mint green, right? And this will come with the cord for it. The cord for this goes right into that. So it's the same color as this. And that was another attraction of it. It's supposed to come with the cord. So when they open it up, to make sure it's the right color, let me move this to the side so you can understand it better. Right? So you open it up. And this thing is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It is nice. Comes in cloth and all that, right? So, as you see here on the sides, or you probably can't really see it because of the glare, but I can see it. So right here on the sides, it's the color, it's literally the color of what you see this box. And I'm like, so where's the wire at? And she's like, oh, yeah, that's a part you got to order. And I shut her down immediately. I said, no. That's not a part you got to order. I know what this is supposed to come with, sweetie. When I start calling a chick sweetie, I'm almost ready to spaz on you. You know what I mean? Because like she was like so sure of herself. And I'm like, no, that was the whole purpose of me buying it. And I looked at it on YouTube. This supposed to come with the cord. It's supposed to come with the cord. And I'm like, yo. So explain to me how. I'm like, yo, you know what? Maybe I'll just, maybe I won't take this. And maybe I'll just bring back my PC. Because I was trying to find any excuse to take this back anyway. Because I really, I get buyer's remorse. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll just bring that computer back too. Because it's becoming too much of a fucking headache for me. So she goes back, talks to the manager, comes back. And what they miraculously just come and find? So even my daughter got mad, and I was like, you know what I think these motherfuckers did? I think somebody saw this cord, cause the girl's like, oh, and I was in the store twice, so I didn't see these cords nowhere. I didn't see this cord nowhere. So how all of a sudden this cord only comes from fucking Apple? Only comes from Apple. And it only comes from Apple when you order a part to go along with this machine that ain't even been out that long. And somehow they had a new cord that somebody didn't use yet, just floating in the fucking store. Like, that don't make no sense. All that told me is somebody saw this and just figured, fuck it. They'll take it and use it for whatever the fuck they gonna use it for. And that's what happened. Now, you guys can't really see the color, but it's mint. It's like braided, but it's like it's literally the color of that. Because the M3 version is a darker green. It's not that lighter green. And I'm like, oh. And she's like, yeah, you can have this cord. Somebody, it was in a store. It's brand new. Nobody used it. But and I said, yo, just give me the cord. Because I didn't want to come back. Because, getting to American Dream Mall is a hassle. The parking and trying to find parking is crazy. And you got to pay for parking. So they're literally only an extra minute from the Meadowlands. Because they're right behind the Meadowlands. So that's nothing to me. But it's just like the hassle of me have to paying for parking just to come. It's one thing if your store was outside and it was a regular parking lot. But then to drive and play musical parking lot to get to where I need to get to, just to park, get a ticket, go inside, pick up another item from you, then come back outside, pay to leave the parking spot. That's too much. So normally I would have said no, I want a new one, but I'm not that bougie. It looks great, and somebody definitely took it. That's what the fuck happened. And for the same reason why people are full of shit, there is why I don't really like dealing with a lot of people and whatnot. Like, I don't like the Toy Man 84, whatever the fuck that fucking redneck fat ugly motherfucker name is, and then that fucking taco biting beanie ass Vatos Locos ass fucking taco biting Mexican piece of shit, Bounce 74 and his fucking Frankenstein knee body parts wife. There's certain people and whatnot I just don't like. And I love exposing assholes. Like the fucking faggots over in Sasquatch Comics. I like saying this because being that I can't verbally get at people on whatnot, I prefer to go up here on YouTube and get at them. So you got people like him, you got that piece of shit Rick 209, and then that other fucking bitch ass dude that that fucked me over too. So Bounce 74 is a scumbag, and I hope his wife die, and I hope he dies. And then you got that fucking faggot, the Toy Man. I hope wherever him and his wife go, I hope they're the only ones taking the scenic route on the airplane, and the airplane go down and only killing them two motherfuckers. And then that Rick 209, regardless of whatever job he got, I hope that motherfucker die a horrible death too. I don't like people stealing from me, and I don't like fake piece of shit people. And I don't care what people, damn bro, that's too much. Nah, fuck you. Just like that taco biting fucking spick motherfucking Mexican motherfucker that I knocked the fuck out outside my house that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when you get a certain age, you have a threshold where you're comfortable with yourself. See, I'm not one of these dudes that go and join the fucking they come become a Nation of Islam Muslim or a regular Muslim or a fucking Jew or Baptist or Pentecostal or the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm comfortable within myself. I love myself and I'm comfortable with myself. So I don't need to go join nothing to be a better me because I'm so ashamed of me. I spit and I speak what the fuck I feel and how I feel. And whether people like me or not, some of you guys out there like my channel because I actually have the balls to say what you don't, and or I have the balls to say what you think, and or you may find me entertaining for whatever reason because a lot of people like drama. I'm not into drama. I just like to expose fucked up people and fucked up shit. And then everybody be sitting here looking at these motherfuckers on whatnot like they're gods just because they got toys and they got shit they want. Why you have to be liked so much? Why do you guys feel like you gotta be popular and join the ass kissing crew just so you can hear somebody say your name so you can be part of a group? So that's the problem with this country. That's why there's so many crackheads and gangbanging faggots and shit, because a lot of you motherfuckers can't stand up, man up, and be your own fucking man. A lot of you motherfuckers have to go run behind and follow behind somebody else because you're too afraid and you're too pussy to sit there and be yourself. See, I am on a straight line being the same motherfucking nigga I've been when I was Mike Son 007. I mean, I've been up here on YouTube since it started. And I've been the same streamlined, straight motherfucker I've always been. I never been nothing I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of you may find me contradictive or this and that, and oh, he's too much drama. You know what it is? Because society teaches you that you're supposed to sit back and be an ass kissing, fucking hypocrite, two-faced motherfucker. No, that's not me. I'm a straightforward individual. I like to be in your face and tell you about yourself. I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. You know how many customers I don't have and I lose even in the Meadowlands? I don't give a fuck. I like it when, I get so upset when the people I don't like come and look at my shit. And sometimes they'll look at me and they'll be like, how much is this? I'll look at them up and down and I'll just walk away. Waiting for them to put it down just because it's early and I don't want to get into an argument. I'm that kind of person. I'm the kind of person, I won't buy nothing from you and I won't sell nothing to you if I don't like you. Yeah, I understand that it's not a popularity thing, but if I have a strict anger and hate towards you, I'm not selling you shit and I'm not buying nothing from you. You know what I mean? That's the kind of person I am. I think that's the best spit in your face, middle finger to your face thing to do without physically putting my hands on you and getting violent, is to sit there and let you know that I don't need you or your money or nothing. Yeah, I am here to sell, but I don't need your money. And yes, I am here to buy, but I don't need to buy from you. That's the thing I like to do. So a lot of motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people stay away from me because just like on Whatnot, I'm a very intimidating person. There's a lot of people on Whatnot that don't like me. But that's expendable. That's understandable. There's people out here on YouTube that hate my guts. I'm pretty sure there's at least 35 to 52% motherfuckers up here that watch my videos be like, damn, I'm just waiting for one of his kinfolk to come up here and say, yeah, Mike has passed away. So I can say, my deepest regards and condolences, and then get off and be shaking their ass like, yeah, that nigga dead. Yeah, that nigga dead. Yo, guess who died? That fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? I know that. But I continue being me and doing what I do because that's the kind of motherfucker I am. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. Just like the guy who came and brought the all my Star Wars stuff. I had some things that I got from Whatnot and I had to the corner and that wasn't part of it. And he's like, I said, listen, this is the stuff you're getting. You don't want this stuff, don't buy it. This is stuff that I may hold on to that I got had nothing to do with what. It had nothing to do with this, and I don't give nobody shit for free. I don't have any more money, then you can't get it. You take this stuff. You drove 2.5 hours. You can drive 2.5 hours coming and then 2.5 hours going back. Have money in your pocket and not get the product. This is what the deal was. That's the deal. He had to accept it. Then he gonna get home and he bring it up. Oh well, I told you. See this figure? I said, listen, man, you got every fucking thing. I said just like that in the text. You got everything. If you want, bring all my shit back. Bring every fucking item back. Every gun, every whatever, and I give you your fucking money back. I said just like that. Oh well, it seemed like I upset at you. And the thing is, he reminds me of this one white dude at the flea market named Tony. That's another thing that irked me. Is that I was like, why does this guy look so much like this fucking hypocrite? And this guy always constantly talking to me, and it gets me so upset because 3 times this motherfucker fucked me on deals at the Meadowlands. That's why I don't like talking to him, and I don't like snakes, and he's a snake. You know what I mean? And he pulled some bullshit. He did it 3 times, and then it's like he's the kind of person that want to buy a figure. This figure could be worth $70. He want to give you $2 to $5 for it, and then at his toy show, he'll sell the same fucking figure for $85. You know what I mean? Like, that shit irks me too. And it's like, certain people I just don't like. I don't like a lot of shit about a lot of people. But with him, I thought we were cool, but then one of the last straws is when he fucked me on a deal with this dude named Sadiq. There was a box of action figures I couldn't get to. And I was like, let me get that. And, it's proper etiquette that you don't go in a bin or a box that somebody else is going in. There's a proper etiquette that if you're like, yo, you got dibs on this and that, you should honor that. You don't just go take it and then try to, like, that's some sucker shit. He did that 3 times. See, I'm not gonna fucking fight nobody. I'm not gonna physically put my hands on you over toys and shit. But I will do it over disrespect and shit. But sometimes it's like, yo, what's the point of fighting and getting into a physical altercation and have to go back and forth to court over something that can be avoided? So that's why I'm like, fuck it. And sometimes I just don't even want to entertain talking to him. But and I don't like being a nice guy, because let's face it, y'all, I'm not a nice guy. I'm the first to admit I'm the biggest asshole I know. I'm very civilized if I have to be. I am very well mannered, but I'm very quiet into myself. I don't like bullshit and extortion. I don't like none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm normally to myself because I will verbally hurt your feelings. Because I'm not a people's person. I don't like being around a lot of people. I don't need a lot of people in my corner. I don't need a lot of friends. I don't need this and that. You know, the less the merrier to me. I've always been like that my whole life. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, I'm a nigga from the hood. I'm a nigga from East New York, Brooklyn. Brooklyn people, New Yorkers are uptight people, period. But every borough have their catch-22s about them. I'm a Brooklyn nigga. I'm an East Brooklyn nigga at that. So, you know, we move different. Brooklyn people move different from people from Staten. People from Staten Island move different from people from fucking Manhattan. People from Manhattan move different than people from Bronx. People from Bronx move different than people from Queens. And I'm pretty sure people from Strong Island, I think even people from Nassau and Suffolk counties, because those are the only two towns, those are only 2 counties in Long Island. See, we call it Strong Island. And you know, for a long time, Strong Island, aka Long Island, tried to get from underneath Albany's rule. Like, they wanted to become their own. Long Island wanted to become their own state. They wanted to become their own entity away from New York. And New York is like, hell no. Some of our strongest revenue, and being that Long Island pays some of the highest property taxes in the U.S. Not the, but some of the highest. There's no way in hell Albany's gonna let them fucking venture off to their own. I'm pretty sure Connecticut wouldn't mind claiming Long Island for them, and or Massachusetts too. But New York is like, nah, motherfuckers, you're part of New York. You are New York. You're part of New York. You are going to continue to be part of New York. You are the suburbs of New York City. You know, because New York City, because you know you have Long Island, but Long Island is considered the suburbs of the outer. I mean, it's like considered the outer skirts of New York City. New York City consists of 5 boroughs, and those are boroughs I just said. You have Staten Island, Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, and Brooklyn. And then going further east from Queens, you have Long Island. And coming from that area, the first part of Long Island you hit is Nassau. You know, Nassau is a big area of New York. And after Nassau, you know, going toward like Connecticut and going further toward Boston and that area, you have Suffolk County, which is the richest part of Long Island. You know, you have bigger houses, bigger, better neighborhoods, because Nassau County is closer to the city, and Suffolk County is the furthest part of Long Island. So, you know, you have those 2 counties, Suffolk and Nassau. But anyway, you know, so I am just the kind of person I am because that's just who I am. And it's like, I've always been the kind of person, I sometimes I can embarrass my mother, my wife, my kids, not to brag, but because I have no filter. I don't give a fuck what nobody thinks of me. That's why half the time I dress the way I do, and I wear my hair the way it is until I decide to shave it. And the only time I really shave is when Isaiah really wants to go to get a haircut. Then I'll get both our haircuts from our barber. But other than that, I'm a grown ass man. Married, I got money, and I got cars and a house. I don't need to go out there and impress some stink pussy bitch or some other nigga. Just like I told one kid wanted to race me the other day in the car, and I said, my man, listen, I don't do that. You see these gray hairs? So what, man? Let's do it. I said, yo, if you want to pull over and put your hands up, that's how we can test our manhood. I don't need to crash or get killed or kill somebody trying to show off in front of some funky ass, you know what I'm saying, still fucking, you know, urinating in his underwear, don't know how to piss in a urinal right ass nigga. Yo, I went off on him. Yo, dude's in the car and his girl was laughing. He got mad. He spent off, almost ran into the fucking wall. And it's too bad that it wasn't a cop there to fucking get a nigga a ticket. And we got to the next light. I just looked at him, shook my head, and just kept going. You know, like, my car gets so much attention. My other Mustang does too. But this one gets crazy attention. And being that it's so loud and pretty, people always seem like they want to test you or they want to. It's just like people on Whatnot and everybody else. Everybody wants to be heard and seen. Motherfuckers always got to be part of something bigger than them because they're nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not that nigga. I don't give a flying fuck what people think, how they think of me, why they think of me. I collect what I collect. Am I an indecisive collector? Who isn't an indecisive collector? You know who I envy? I envy people that collect one item and stay with it. I envy them because they have it all figured out. That's the only reason why I envy them. Because they can stick with one fucking thing. I can't. I love a lot of shit. I go back and forth with a lot of shit. This time last month, this wasn't here. This stuff wasn't here. I had a whole shitload of Star Wars stuff here. And I had virtually the whole fucking collection of Motu stuff and She-Ra right here. This time this month, 2025, I stretched out my G.I. Joe stuff. One is only money. Two, I prove over and over again, I don't need to give a fuck about this stuff. I don't need any of this stuff. Wanting and needing is two different things. You don't want food, you need it. You don't want water, you need it. You don't want a place, well, you want a place to live, but you guys see where I'm going with this. There's a difference between a necessity. You need a job and a roof over your head. You don't need a car. Because, you know, you may not own your own vehicle, but you can use public transportation to get from point A to point B. But having a vehicle is a necessity. That's something that you choose to have to make things a lot more easier and comfortable for you to move around. There's a difference. I could use this as an office or extra bedroom for a guest. Or I can have Isaiah up here, Mikey up here, Michelle in one room and a guest room downstairs. Or whatever. It could be everything. Like my wife has decided that she's going to get the basement done. So the basement is off limits. Like, can I put all this stuff downstairs in the basement and make these rooms more accessible? Yeah, I can. Maybe I might just go ahead and do that. I don't know yet. But I'm not putting a penny in it because I don't think the basement is long or big enough to spend that much money and getting something renovated when it should have been done before we moved in, which was part of the deal. But certain people fucked up, not me or my wife. So I'm gonna leave that as that. But yeah, man, you know, going back to all this after me ranting about all that other shit. And at least my rants are unlike some other people on YouTube's rants, complaining, bitching, and moaning about the same fucking toy companies and calling everything fam and yo fam. Yo, I'm just so. I do understand sometimes why people don't like me or like my channel, but at least my content and my shit has meaning to it. But to hear the same grown-ass men, one drinking liquor and talk about shit, then another fucking clown sitting there looking like a goddamn brown-eyed baboon talking about these companies, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't care what you're gonna do. Why the fuck are you clowns out there buying all this new bull? You're wasting your money on garbage that you can't even get fucking 15% of what you paid for this stuff if you decide to sell it. Because everybody and their fucking grandmother's selling it. Every toy show I go to, I'm going to tell you what you always see. Even if some of them are convention pieces or mailaways or whatever, you see the same bullshit ass G.I. Joe classifieds, Super 7 bullshit, 112 bullshit, all different Star Wars bullshit, fucking McFarlane bullshit, Marvel Legends bullshit, Lego bullshit, and then all the same old crusty ass fucking Funko Pop bullshit. And then if you do see vintage toys, people want too much money for shit that's not even in really decent condition with weapons, and they still want crazy money. And then everybody's running around trying to make deals with each other and get mad because nobody's buying from them or they didn't make the table money back. I mean, you know, especially if some of these toy shows are twice a fucking month, 12 months out of the fucking year. How many times you think The same people want to go to the same show every month, and they seeing the same shit, the same people. Half the motherfuckers got on the same shirts and the same pants they wore the last 3 or 4 fucking months. Then you go up in these places, and the fucking hotel or the place you at stinks. It smells like old baloney ass feet. Technically, it smells like a whole bunch of smelly ass white people that didn't fucking take a shower. I'm gonna call it for what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? One thing about me, whether you like me or not, yo, I spit the fucking truth. I don't have no filter. I don't give a fuck what people think, and I'm gonna spit shit that everybody know, everybody say. I don't care. I'm too old to give a fuck what people think. I don't care. You can call me a racist. Yo, it ain't about me being a racist. I'm comfortable with myself, and I'm comfortable with everybody that's cool with me. I'm racist against those racists against me. I just happen to spit the fucking truth about certain people that are in these areas. And that go to these, it is what the fuck it is. Whether you like me or not, or you find me entertaining or not. A lot of y'all hate me because a lot of you wish you can be me. And because a lot of people, I've had people say, yo, like, where you get the money for all this? Or what? Like one dude, he asked me like 2 times. He said, yo, for real, let me ask you a question. You got a girlfriend or a wife? I got a wife. I said, how would you like me to sit there and ask you how your wife's pussy smell? Or how big her pussy lips are? Or if she gets wet? Or if she stays dry? You gotta use KY gel. I went the fuck in on this dude. I went on this dude so much so that he actually reported me on Facebook. He reported me on Facebook behind that. And I was making a point. Basically meaning none of your fucking business. Like when I sold the Star Wars figures last week or whatever the fuck it was. And one guy reached out and he's like, oh, so, by any chance. So what did you get for the Star Wars stuff? I said, excuse me? He said, yeah, I don't know what you got for it. I said, dude, I don't kiss and tell. It's none of nobody's business what I got for it. Oh, well, I was just trying to be helpful. I was just wondering. Relax. I said, no, what the fuck you mean relax? How you going to sit there and ask me something personal like that? You didn't buy it. You were inquiring about it, but you didn't buy it, right? You didn't find it important enough to come down. I went in on this dude, which I normally do. Anybody who know me can tell you, yeah, that motherfucker go in on people. I went in on him. And then I blocked him after I spazzed the fuck out on him. Because it's like, once I told you I don't kiss and tell, don't push the envelope. See, the problem is people mistake kindness for weakness. And yes, I can be a kind person even though I don't like people. I'm not a people's person. But I'm not going to placate your ego. But I'm not gonna be a straight up savage unless you bring it out. And once you bring it out, or you piss me off, oh, it's there. And I got no problem throwing hands with anybody. And I don't give a fuck about my age. I got no problem throwing hands. If you want to go that route, we can go that fucking route. You think I'm the kind of person I am because I don't know how to throw up my hands or know how to use a gun or what? Yo, whatever way you want to go, if it's that important or that necessary, then you can go whatever way you want. Other than that, leave me the fuck be. Respect me, I'm gonna respect you. That's just me. For 2025, I ain't with nobody's bullshit. I said that last year, and I stood true to it. Outside of deviating from a lot of toy shit. But let's face it. Mostly 2024. I think I started in 2023 with the Star Wars stuff. I can't remember. I know I don't think I had the Star Wars stuff in 2022. So 2022 or I think maybe late 23 I started with the Star Wars stuff. A couple pieces here and there, but I went full ham obviously in 24. And of course, not early, but mid 24 is when I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna start doing the He-Man shit. And obviously you guys saw how quick I got virtually that whole collection. So this time around, this year, live to see, I'm really trying to finish off my mask or get more mask stuff than I did it for 04. For 24. Because 23, I think I got like very few pieces. I did get more mask stuff this year than I did, in 24 than I did in 23. Unfortunately, this Sasquatch comic asshole fucked up something, and I paid him for some mask stuff that I didn't get. And I'm pretty upset about that because I paid for it, and he's like, oh, it's out of his hands. He had nothing to do with it. Why everybody always want to rationalize when they fuck up? Like, if you're telling me that you that you ship shit out and you have issues with this carrier or company, why would you fucking continue to use them? Why you wouldn't better yourself to use something else? Why? Because they want to do the same thing everybody else do. They want to maximize on money and minimize on shipping, and then they get upset with you because somehow, hello, miraculously, it shouldn't shock you that the motherfucking that the buyer didn't get their fucking shit. The shit either got stolen, damaged, or lost. And now you want to get mad at them and tell them, oh, well, hey, I did my part. Go, deal with whatnot. And then they get mad at you because you paid for something. And it's like the money goes out your account like that. And if there's any issue, it takes a while for your fucking money to come back. That's not fair to the buyer. And I feel like whatnot is becoming another version of Evil Bay. It's becoming a live auction, a live version of Evil Bay. And I think whatnot needs to go back to scrutinizing motherfuckers. And if they do it too many times in 1 week or 1 month, they should either close their account permanently and or they should suspend them for a certain amount of time. And if it happens more than 2 or 3 times in a fucking year, the way these people do it, they should automatically be terminated. That's what the fuck whatnot should do. I remember like my boy Eddie and other people saying how crazy it was to first get into whatnot. Whatnot, you had to have a real good rapport and upstanding with eBay, Evil Bay. You had to, it was a certain criteria you had to meet to even sell on whatnot. But now whatnot for the last 3 years gotten so greedy and so corporate now that they're seeming to just say fuck it. Now, as long as you spend over $1,000 even as a buyer, you can now come in and become a seller. Like, they make it so easy for people when all the real legit people that first started, they made them go through a lot of fucking hoops. And now it's like, oh, all right, now anybody can join just so we can get more money and have more. That's fucked up. And a lot of these people already know how to go and go through the loopholes. And I love to expose bullshit and bullshitters. I love to do so. Because, I'm a real motherfucker. And I'm straightforward. And people don't like that because I am a real dude. And I don't filter, nor do I give a fuck about anybody's feelings when they're disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm about to end that because this wound up being a 45 to 50 minute longer video than I wanted it to be. But I just, I was in my feelings and I just decided, you know what? This is my first rant of 2025. So let's see how many more rants I got. I don't really plan on ranting that much this year. I mean, I've been doing this shit for so long. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting tired of hearing me rant. But it's just a lot of bullshit with whatnot and just all everyday everybody bullshit. Like, for instance, before I go, I was already defensive and upset because I went to Columbus. It was fucking brick freezing. I got there late on purpose because I was like, you know what? It's cold. Ain't that many people gonna be there. I go there. I get there. Hardly no vendors there, and hardly no buyers. No potential. What do you call that? When, I can't think of the fucking word. Well, anyway, competition. I did see Aaron, aka Cheap Ass Bricks, there, so I should have known when I seen him getting in his car that early. And he had nothing in his hand. I should have realized it was garbage. But I walked around. There's one black guy that me and him wasn't cool, and then we became cool, and he sold me some shit. And he had me come over, and he's like, yo, come look at this. And I was mad because, one, I didn't really find shit, and then two, I don't need to walk around. I don't need to walk another fucking 6-7 feet. When all you gotta do is lift up something and show it to me. He's like, nah, come over here and look at it. So I'm like, oh, come the fuck on, man. And I know he heard me. So I walk over there. He's like, yeah. I said, yo, you already seen this shit, man. I don't want that. I don't want that stuff, man. I ain't want it then. And he's like, oh, okay. And before I walked over there, he told me he had some loose figures. They were 5. So as I'm walking back the other way now, even more upset because this asshole had me coming over and all he had to do was show me a figure. I don't want that garbage. So he's gonna show me. He's like, oh, I know you want Tony Atlas. I said, yo, I don't. I told you before, I don't do Jack Pacific wrestlers. I only do Mattel. Then he shows me a Rocky figure, and I'm like, okay. So he's like, I know you want Rocky. I know you need Rocky. So I'm like, yeah, all right, man. So what do you want for Rocky? He stands there, think about it for a second. He said, I'll do 10 on it. I said 10. I said, no, I'm good, and I walked away. And I said 10 and said, no, I'm good with an attitude. Because one, he had me walk over there. And then two, the nigga just said all the loose fucking figures is 5. Now it's something because it's the Rocky figure. Now he wants 10 for it. Nah, you keep that shit, homie. You know what I mean? And then from there, fat white dude that his boy's an asshole. His boys would have sold me some G.I. Joes before. He's a real piece of shit. So he got to the point where he kept like, I felt like he was teasing. And I said, yo, listen, I don't got time for the bullshit. You're full of shit. Keep your fucking figures. And that's it. So I don't fuck with him no more. You know what I mean? And but anyway, the fat one, he comes in a Mercedes, and you know he quiet. And he's like, yo, I got Transformers. I got G1 Transformers over there. And I'm like, so where you at? He showed me where he's at. I said, all right, cool. I'm walking that way. So I go around, come back, and I'm looking at the G1 stuff. I got them all. They're all basic. He had Ultra Magnus in the box, but he was missing shit. I think he either had Twin Twist or Top Spin. One of them he had the box for them. But even the loose one, almost all his Transformers loose weren't in the best. They weren't fucked up, but they weren't in like really nice condition. And they were all like the ones that had stickers. Almost everybody had too much rub on their stickers, too much wear, what we don't call it. And he's talking about the prices, and I'm looking at him like, what? Now, I'm already in a bad mood because I drove down there for fucking nothing. It was a waste of a fucking drive. Like I literally. They say the first time for everything, and I literally walked out that fucking flea market. I drove an hour down, an hour back, so I drove 2 hours, lost almost 160 something miles in gas and mileage I can't get back on my vehicle or time to go down there. I mean, I didn't even walk out that motherfucker with a ripped up, dirty plastic bag off the floor or a used napkin or a piece of toilet paper stuck. I mean, I literally walked out. I mean, shit, I ain't even used the bathroom. Like, it was terrible. And then I was going to go to English Town. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going straight home. Glad I went straight home. I don't know how English Town was, but, you know, then the other white dude, he had some wrestling figures. And he had a Hasbro sealed Ultimate Warrior and Coco Beware. And he had some other wrestlers. So I said, yo, how much are the wrestlers? So when he saw me, he got excited because, you know, I buy toys. And he was like, oh, well, this section is 10. This is that. But, you know, basically, I have different prices on everything. So he went to point toward the Ultimate Warrior Hasbro and the Coco Beware Hasbro on card. And he said, yeah, but these two right here, I had a guy offer me $120 on it earlier, and I told him no. And he was talking like he had fucking gold. And I'm looking at him like, nigga, you keep all this garbage. You got a whole bunch of them, the bone crushing crappy ass wrestlers that you go to any fucking toy store or toy show and motherfuckers sell them shit 2 for $5 and you know whatever. So I'm like, it ain't gonna be me. So he offered them both to me for $100. So my boy Hector called me, the same one that I got the G.I. Joe shit from yesterday. And he was like, yo, you went to Columbus? Oh, I don't think he said I was in Columbus. I said, yeah, I was there. It was nothing. And he was talking about the wrestling figures. And I was like, so what that fucking clown sold them to you for? He said $140. He said, I said, $140? He said, yeah. I said, yo, he offered it to give it to me for $100. And he did. Because he said, you know, somebody offered him $120. But he said, yo, but for you, I'll do $100. I said, I don't even want him at $100. I didn't even give a fuck what the Ultimate Warrior went for. I don't care. I don't. But, you know, Hector paid $140. He happy with it. He already got to buy it for it. I'm more happy for him. I didn't want to give him $100 for it. Like I said, I was right in a bad mood because it was freezing. The black dude pissed me off with that little move he pulled. I didn't find shit out there. And I was like, fuck it. I was thinking about going back to pick up the Rocky figure, but I ain't want to get that nigga $10 for it. I figured if I'm gonna lose and bust out, I might as well bust out full and just go home with nothing and say fuck it. Than to get that nigga $10 just because he want to charge more because he fucking decided to go there and ain't make no money and he think he gonna make bank on me. Nah, fuck you. You ain't banking bank on me. Same thing with the guy with the Transformer stuff. The prices he was quoting, I'm like, this shit is all like these figures are basic figures and they're not in the greatest condition and you want to get the fuck out of here, man. So I was like, nah, I'm good, man. And I walked away real cold and nasty. Yeah, I was definitely. I mean, if I was a woman on her worst day of being on her rag or on her period, oh, today was that day. and everybody know I had an attitude. I was I was not in a great mood fucking today, man, because it was all garbage and and I'm like, yo, everybody, and I was like. Then some people like, yo, look what I got. I said, yo, look, if you don't got toy, I got toy. I said, I don't want that garbage, man. I want real toy. I was going in on people today. I was pissed the fuck off, and I don't need you to try to lure me into your little crusty ass area because you out there. Nah, fuck that. But anyhow, that's what it is. And and I think like my boy said a while ago on one of my friends. He said, yo, Mike, you know what your problem is? You too real for niggas. You too real and you too straightforward. That's your fucking problem. And people don't know how to deal with people like you because you too straightforward and you're just who you are. And that's who I am. I don't give a fuck.
Dad,
Yo.
you have a microphone for your PC?
Microphone for a PC?
For that.
No, I never needed it. You got a microphone built into the webcam.
Next time we go out, can we get a microphone for my PC?
Why you need a microphone? Just you don't you the webcam got a microphone.
No, this doesn't work good.
Or you want like an editing?
Like something where people can hear me. Cause I used to use my phone as a microphone, but now that it won't turn on, I don't have anything to use.
So your phone is dead.
It's not working. And it all started. It started as soon as I started using my computer to charge my phone, because I didn't have a charger because Mom took it to work.
Your sister got a charger?
Yeah, but I didn't feel like going back to ask for it. She's in a bad mood right now.
Why she in a bad mood? Must be that time of the I don't know. Right? Your fucking sister's retarded.
Hey, that's me.
Let me get more. I'll call Tony and see if he got an iPhone.
iPhone.
Yeah, you need a phone, right?
Oh yeah.
Actually, let me call him now. Oh shit! Oh man, I'm fucking retarded. I forgot that I ain't even turned the video off. I'll do it. I totally forgot the video.
You should edit that out.
Yeah, fuck it. I ain't gonna edit nothing now. I don't do that. I don't edit. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, just give me some more water. But yeah, we'll figure that out too. All right. So he did have that iPhone for some years now. So maybe it is time to get him a new one. Oh, and that's what I forgot too. So speaking of the stuff, I'm over here ranting so much, I totally fucking forgot. See, this is why I like videos like mine. I'm straightforward. Ain't no editing. It ain't no slick or bullshit. I like being straightforward and spontaneous. So yeah, so this is one of the pieces I got thanks to Hector. I knew I had it, and he's right here. And I got this from Lev in a pile of crap that I've been buying. One of his legs seen better days. But right here where the collar is, it's broken. But other than that, it's pretty dope. So I'm going to be selling this one and keeping my other one. Well, the one I got from him. I'm going to see which one's in better condition. Maybe I'll just switch out the whatchamacallit. Now, some of y'all might say something like, yeah, you know why you got bad luck and why everything's bothering you so much? It's because you're the kind of person you are. Well, first of all, I might be an asshole, but I'm not a fucking serial killer or savage. I do good deeds and good stuff, and I do it not for recognition. I do it just to do it. Things just seem to happen, and I just always seem to talk about the shit that happens. That's the circumstance. It has nothing to do with my luck as a person. I don't believe in superstition. I'm not a superstitious person. Thanks. Alright, well, try to figure out how you can charge it anyway. Even if you got to ask your brother for his charger. Or
No, there's no way to charge it that it won't turn on. It's just not. It's literally just won't power on anymore.
Alright, we'll figure something out. So this is the one I got from Heck. Well, because of Hector. And here is mine I got from Lev. So one's gonna be for sale. It's the same one. And the one I got from Hector, obviously, he has better legs. You see this one has a little yellow into it. And again, like right here is cracked. This one isn't. So I'm gonna keep that one, and I'm gonna sell off this one. And being that this one has the one I got from Hector has a broken fist, I'm gonna crazy glue this fist and put it on the broken one and sell it. And I'm just gonna change out the fist on that one and just put it right there. No harm, no fucking foul, right? That's the whole point. The whole point is if you're getting the same shit over and over again, is to upgrade. You know, the whole point is to upgrade your stuff. So, yeah. I wonder if this one says Bandai on the back, too. Because sometimes they don't. Yep. Poppy. Bandai 1984. Made in Japan. So this one's going to be for sale. I mean, I had it on display for a while, but yeah, it made really well. And I'm just gonna fix that fist, and I'll take that out and sell it. You know, it's like a lot of people look at me as being this fucking evil animal, and I'm not that. You know, I mean, some people, I think some people at the flea markets are intimidated by me and they act like they like me. I know that too, and some people just genuinely think I'm a cool guy. They like me, and or they probably just tolerate me just because they're either afraid of me and or they just think I'm gonna do something to them, and that's not the case, man. I mean, I'm not an animal like that. I don't care. But I think some of them guys, especially down in Columbus, I think some people are just intimidated by me. I think they're more intimidated by me than like me. It's more of a fear than anything else. But you know, whatever, man. I don't think there's no reason for nobody to fear me. You know, everybody's entitled to their thoughts and their opinions, and I'm not the kind of person that's gonna curse you out, threaten you, or put your hands on you because you don't like me or you don't agree with me. But I think some of them guys down there just automatically feel like that, and that's not the case. You're entitled to feel whatever way you want to feel. But yeah, so outside of that, y'all, I think that was it. I think that's all I really wanted to show, because you guys seen the stuff I got from the Apple store. And yeah. So you guys see the room. And you know, I got my my custom 12-inch Outback and Tiger Force Outback from Fam Alex. You know, I'm not gonna go into no more details because it's not my business to say somebody else's business and what somebody else does and how they do it, whatever. Because this is my channel. I'm just letting you know, brother, your shit is right there. And no, you can't have that. So stop fucking asking. It's an inside joke, y'all. So relax. So again, you know, I put some figures up here I put that stuff there because I ain't want it on the floor. All these figures will comfortably sit on all these shelves. Then right here, I have, I think I have 2 or 3 shelves. I have 3 shelves for G.I. Joe stuff up there. Then of course I have this whole area, but this area's got to go for vehicles. So I'll just keep doing as I go. Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep doing as I go, man. Yeah. So anyway, man, thanks for watching. Peace out.